Who do the Jets play this weekend?
Which sport? Hockey or football?
Hockey's not a real sport. No, I'm just kidding. You've probably seen the new glowing Siri in all of those iPhone 16 commercials. It's supposed to be more conversational than before. It's supposed to let you ask follow-up questions, and you can type to Siri for the first time too. But how much smarter is it with contextual intelligence through Apple Intelligence? We're going to put the new Siri against the old Siri head-to-head in a series of 5 questions. But first, if your iPhone is near, you might want to just set it aside so it doesn't set off when I say that assistant's name. All right, so for my first one, I'm going to make it pretty easy because I think both Siris, old and new, should be able to handle it. What steakhouses are nearby?
Which one? Which one?
Okay, well, that's actually pretty good, although the old Siri is actually giving me more options.
Which one?
I don't see more options in your contacts. Who do you want to message?
I don't have an answer for that. Is there
See, this is what happens when they start talking to each other. All right, I'll start with the old one. Which steakhouses are nearby?
One sec. Which one?
A little bit slow. What are the hours for number 2?
One moment. I don't have hours for there.
Oh, can you get me directions? Can you get me directions? I had to press the button.
Getting directions to NYCWFF steak and whiskey.
Okay, so I would say passing grade. All right, so now on to the nearest Siri. Is it any better? What steakhouses are nearby?
Which one?
What are the hours for number 2?
It's open today from 11:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m.
Can you get me directions?
Getting directions to Hunt and Fish Club.
So the new Siri got the hours, but the old one didn't. All right, so on to test 2. What's the tallest building on Earth?
The tallest building is the Burj Khalifa Tower, which measures 828 meters to 716 feet 6 inches tall. This is from GuinnessWorldRecords.com.
Good to know. What's the second tallest?
Shanghai Tower, standing out in the skyline of Shanghai, set in Lujiazhu, Pudong, Shanghai, China. The Shanghai Tower is a 2,073-foot, 632-meter tall 128-floor skyscraper that was built in 2013.
The voice is still robotic though. And I don't need for it to read me the entire thing. I can read.
This answer is from WorldAtlas.com.
Also good to know. What about in the US?
Since its topping out in 2013, One World Trade Center in New York City has been the tallest skyscraper in the United States. This is from Wikipedia.
What's the second tallest?
K2 is the second highest mountain on Earth.
Ah, we broke it. It's still, it didn't think that we were still
Baltistan
talking about
region of
buildings.
Pakistan, and the Tax-Gorgan Tajik Autonomous County of Xinjiang, China.
Okay, you failed. Okay, new Siri, let's see what you got. What's the tallest building on Earth?
The tallest building on Earth is Burj Khalifa, which measures 828 meters tall. It is a skyscraper located in Dubai, United Arab Emirates.
What's the second tallest?
Burj Khalifa in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, is the world's tallest building. Shanghai Tower in Shanghai, China, is the second tallest building. This is from Kidal.co.
What about in the US?
The Willis Tower is the second tallest building in the United States. This answer is from 10mosttoday.com.
So in a way, it's smarter, but I didn't exactly want the second tallest in the US. I would hope that it would go to the tallest first. So it's almost like too contextual in this case. So even though we quote unquote broke old Siri eventually, I kind of liked its answers a little bit better. All right, next up, let's see what happens when we want to play tourist. Tell me about Paris.
Here's some info about Paris.
How big is it?
Paris has an area of 1,102 square miles.
How deep are the catacombs?
A first level of the catacombs is from 33 to 49 feet below the surface, with galleries 10 to 13 feet high. Sometimes there are 3 or even 4 levels. This is from encyclopedia.com.
But is that, are they talking about, about Paris or in general? So I think it gave us just a general answer about catacombs and not the ones that are in Paris, which is a bummer. Tell me about Paris.
Here's some info about Paris.
How big is it?
Paris has an area of 1,102 square miles.
How deep are the catacombs?
The Paris catacombs are typically around 25 meters deep. approximately 5 stories below the city surface. This is from viatravelers.com.
What time do they open?
It has closed for the day.
What time do they open tomorrow?
It's open tomorrow from 9:45 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Wow, so I could go much further with the new Siri in this particular case. And that's another point for new Siri. On to a sports question. Who do the New York Jets play this weekend?
The Jets play the Steelers on Sunday, 8:20 p.m.
Who's favored to win?
I found this on the web.
Yeah, that's a fail. Who do the New York Jets play this weekend?
The Jets meet the Steelers on Sunday at 8:20 p.m.
Who's favored to win?
I'm hearing that the Jets are favored to defeat the Steelers by 2 points.
What's the over-under?
The over-under for the Jets. Steelers game is 38.5.
Okay, that's pretty good. Who's the quarterback?
Here's what I found.
It's such a basic question. I mean, it's good that we got all of those follow-up questions right, but like I should be able to say who's the quarterback and hear Aaron Rodgers. But still, new Siri wins. All right, let's get into some trivia and science. How far is the moon?
The average distance between Earth and the Moon is 238,856 miles.
How long would it take to drive there?
1 sec. Historically, most crewed lunar missions have taken about 3 days to reach the Moon. This is from howstuffworks.com.
But that's not driving, that's flying. All right, new Siri, you're up. How far is the moon?
The average distance between Earth and the Moon is 238,856 miles.
How long would it take to drive there?
On average, the Moon is 238,900 miles, 384,472 kilometers from Earth. If you could drive a car at 60 miles per hour, 95 kilometers per hour, through space to the lunar surface, it would take you about 6 months to arrive at your dusty moon destination. This answer is from howstuffworks.com.
I guess that's where the dusty comes from. I'd probably go at least 80 because there's no cops. So another victory for new Siri. All right, so what about knowledge of the iPhone itself? How do I record my screen?
Here's what I found.
Okay, links off to the web. Not that helpful. How do I record my screen?
Here's how to record your screen. First, go to Settings, then Control Center, then tap next to Screen Recording. Second, open Control Center, tap, then wait for the 3-second countdown.
Okay, you got it.
And third, to stop recording, tap the red circle at the top of the screen, then tap.
I tried to interrupt, but it didn't work. Gave you more insight, obviously, in step-by-step instructions, but it might be cool to actually like walk you through the steps on your iPhone itself, maybe for version 2. Let's talk about the weather. What's the weather going to be this weekend?
Expect some clear skies this weekend.
When's the next chance of rain?
It doesn't look like it's going to rain today.
What about for the next 10 days?
Looks like there will be partly cloudy skies and clear skies between today and next Saturday.
How about in Chicago?
Expect some clear skies in Chicago, Illinois this weekend.
What's the 10-day?
Expect cloudy skies, partly cloudy skies, and clear skies in Chicago, Illinois between today and next Saturday.
That's pretty good for Old Siri. What's the weather this weekend?
Should be sunny this weekend.
Is there a chance of rain?
It doesn't look like it's going to rain today.
What about for the next 10 days?
There's a slight chance it'll rain on Thursday.
How about in Chicago?
It doesn't look like it's going to rain through October 26th in Chicago, Illinois.
Pretty good. So I would give like a slight edge to the new Siri because it not only switched automatically to the new city, it also kept the presence or the persistence of the 10-day forecast. Overall, I think it's clear that the new Siri is the winner with Apple Intelligence. There's some areas where it fell down, but overall it won more rounds and I think it has better contextual intelligence. I also like the fact that you can ask follow-up questions without having to press the button, and the glow is kind of nice, but I think it's also persistent to let you know that it's still listening, which I think is a good thing. There's still a lot more that Apple needs to add in terms of being able to, for example, voice control your apps, and I think it'll get better over time. But I think if you are able to get the new Siri, which means you need to have a new iPhone 15 Pro or newer, it may be worth the upgrade for you. For more, make sure you go to tomsguide.com and follow us on our socials at Tom's Guide across YouTube, TikTok, and more to just learn more about what Siri brings to the table and the new iPhones. For Tom's Guide, this is Mark Spoonhour. What time do they open?
It has closed for the day.
What time do they open?
I don't have hours for there.
But you just told me when they closed.